What you're about to see is totally classified.
What you're about to see is top secret. Do not tell my mother.
Newcastle United fans, get ready to be blown away. From Newcastle United in talks with midfielder over a long-term contract, to Juventus keen on selling forward to Newcastle in €25 million deal, to Eddie Howe issuing a strong message to Kieran Trippier after his late mistake and missed penalty in last night's heartbreaking defeat to Chelsea.
Someone that's taken the group onto
to transfer news expert Fabrizio Romano, responding to recent reports linking Newcastle United director Dan Ashworth with a potential move to Manchester United once Sir Jim Ratcliffe finalizes the purchase of his 25% stake in the club. Starting off, in the aftermath of Newcastle's heartbreaking defeat to Chelsea, manager Eddie Howe and teammate Callum Wilson have expressed a firm message of support for Kieran Trippier, despite his late mistake and missed penalty. The match saw Newcastle just 2 minutes away from securing a spot in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. However, in the 92nd minute, Trippier made an error that allowed Chelsea to equalize. The subsequent penalty shootout saw both Trippier and Matt Ritchie fail to convert their spot kicks. Despite the disappointment of the result, Eddie Howe and Callum Wilson have chosen to stand firmly behind Trippier.
Incredibly strong character. As I said many times, he's a transformative signing. Someone that's taken the group onto a totally different level. He's been the heartbeat of that. So when he's given us so much, now's our turn to support him and look after him the other way, and that's what we'll do.
We've just spoken to Eddie Howe there, and he says you win and lose as a team. Obviously Kieran, he must be devastated in the dressing room there, but you know, everyone will get around him and support him.
Yeah, 100%. It's football. Football happens. People go through periods of difficult times and difficult spells. You know, I've been through that myself, and I think tonight was my first goal in 5 or 6 games. So it happens. Trips is a fantastic player, fantastic person and professional. He was one of the first to join us once the takeover happened. It showed his commitment, dedication to the club, and we're forever grateful for that. He's been a rock at the back since he joined, and yeah, times like tonight is what happens. People make errors in matches, and it is what it is. We win together, lose together. We all make mistakes on the pitch. Just my position, when I make a mistake, it often doesn't lead to a goal because it's so high up. Defenders have that difficult job of on the fine line, and like I say, Trips is a top man, and he'll move on quickly from that.
On the game itself, Eddie Howe felt that...
Yeah, very, very disappointed. Really feel for the players, and of course our unbelievable supporters who came in their numbers tonight. I thought we gave everything to the game. We were committed. It wasn't our best free-flowing performance, but again, I think there's mitigating circumstances for that. We lost players again in the game through injury, but the players that played gave everything. I thought our defensive performance was outstanding when you consider we didn't concede that many clear-cut chances, all down to the collective mindset of the players was first class. Yeah,
Chelsea had a lot of the ball, but just how much discipline and dedication did it take to keep that shape almost right through to the end?
Yeah, well, you have to get the details right, and we did. Our defensive, as I say, positioning first, covering space, individual duels, battles. I thought we were really, really good. I thought we were a real transition threat in the first half, a real counter threat, which was great to see. We lost that threat in the second half, but as we fatigued a little bit and we lost our legs slightly. But then we sort of accepted our role, and it looked like we were going to see the game through. I couldn't see them scoring in that moment.
Did it always look like it was going to take something really special from them, or a mistake to open you up?
I just didn't see a goal coming for them. I thought we looked comfortable. Looked like we'd sort of absorbed most of their threats. They'd changed things, but it didn't really change the flow of the game. The goal's just one of those things that can happen on a football pitch. You know, there's moments and things that happen, but we had to accept it. Then the penalty shootout occurs, and that's a lottery, as we know, and unfortunately for us, we're out.
Then moving on, Newcastle United is reportedly growing in confidence about their chances of winning the race to sign Juventus starlet Matias Soulé. The club is interested in securing his services during the January transfer window, and Juventus is said to be increasingly keen to let the deal happen. Soule, an Argentine forward, has made a strong impression during his loan spell at Frosinone in the Serie A. Since joining the Italian club last summer, he has recorded an impressive tally of 6 goals and 1 assist in just 15 games. His performances have attracted attention from various clubs across Europe, including Newcastle United, Tottenham Hotspur, and Crystal Palace, all of whom are seeking to strengthen the right side of their attack. Newcastle, in particular, holds a strong interest in Soule and may pursue a deal as part of their strategy to acquire some of the most promising young talents in the world. In a recent development, Italian newspaper Gazzetta dello Sport, as reported by Sport Witness, has provided a huge update on the situation. They claim that Newcastle is emerging as the frontrunner to secure a deal with Juventus, as the Italian club is increasingly inclined to sell the South American player to them. According to the report, Newcastle is in the picture to finalize a deal for the 20-year-old forward. Juventus, however, will only accept an offer that meets their reported asking price of €25 million. With Eddie Howe dealing with a lengthy injury list that has disrupted the team's season so far, he is keen to reinforce the squad at the earliest opportunity. A new winger has been a priority on his list, especially with only Miguel Almiron being a natural fit for the right-hand side of the attack. So let's see how this transfer story develops. Then, according to transfer news expert Fabrizio Romano, there have been recent reports linking Newcastle United director Dan Ashworth with a potential move to Manchester United. The speculation suggests that once Sir Jim Ratcliffe finalizes the purchase of his 25% stake in the club, Ashworth could join Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano holds Ashworth in high regard, but he seems uncertain about the accuracy of these reports. He emphasizes that internal discussions about changes to the board at Old Trafford are still in the early stages. In an exclusive conversation with Caught Offside for his daily briefing column, Romano also highlights that Newcastle is very pleased with Ashworth's contributions. Therefore, it can be expected that they would put up a fight to retain him if such a move were to be pursued. There are many links with the Manchester United director job, and Dan Ashworth is one name coming up in reports, Romano said. The first step has to be how to structure the board. This is what Ineos people are discussing, if proceeding with one director, or maybe a structure with 2 or 3 people working on club project. Talks are still ongoing internally. He added, I rate Ashworth highly. He's done some excellent work in the transfer market. He's an excellent director. He's a really top professional, and it's also important to say that Newcastle are very happy with him. Overall, the information suggests that while there are reports linking Dan Ashworth to Manchester United, the situation is still in its early stages. Newcastle United values Ashworth's services and would likely resist his departure. While Manchester United is undoubtedly a massive club, accepting an offer from them would not be an easy decision for Ashworth. The task of restoring the Red Devils to their desired level would be significant and challenging. It remains to be seen how Ashworth personally views the reported interest from Manchester United. Then, according to the Telegraph, Newcastle United has reportedly initiated discussions regarding a long-term contract for Lewis Miley, which would come into effect when he turns 18 later this season. The 17-year-old midfielder has recently emerged as one of the most promising talents in the Premier League, making an impact in Eddie Howe's team and featuring in the club's last 9 matches. Miley even scored his first senior goal in Newcastle's recent victory against Fulham. Having only turned professional in May when he reached the age of 17, Miley was restricted by competition rules and could only sign a maximum 3-year contract at that stage. However, Newcastle is now working towards securing a fresh long-term agreement that will commence after his 18th birthday in May. The contract is expected to be finalized and come into effect during the summer. Then finally, if you want to know the latest shocking update from Sky Sports and Fabrizio Romano on Calvin Phillips, click the video on screen now.